Hi, Jacob. How are you?
Oh, good, good. How's it going tonight?
Pretty good. How about you?
Well, at that point in time, I'm noticing your pups behind you, or at least one's your dog sitting, right?
Yes. Yes, that is Khaleesi. She loves attention. You may see her climb on my lap during this.
She can be a star through sideline sports like all the other stars we're creating.
Exactly. Um, how's your new job going?
Well, not too bad at all. It's a new thing to learn. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
New thing to learn. So had every well, one of the biggest things is we now have a football season officially.
Woohoo! Oh, let me tell you this embarrassing thing real quick.
Sure.
So we had an event at work today.
Yeah.
Town hall, like all the like senior people, like crazy high up people who report directly to the CEO, Charlie. And at the end of the meeting, I'm talking with the head of IT for Wells Fargo Mortgage, right?
Yeah.
And I'm literally standing there, Jacob, and my heel breaks. I had to grab the man's arm so I didn't fall down.
Oh,
Little
geez.
embarrassing. I was like, I'm sorry, I know how to stand, I promise. And I'm glad I have my flip flops in my purse.
What was it 3-inch heels?
Maybe 4.
What are you about 5'5" or something?
I'm about 5'8".
Yeah.
But...
so you wanted to tower over them.
I like towering over people. It's fun.
Hey, you have no chance with me. I'm 6'3".
Yeah, well, I'll be forehead to forehead.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so we do have the football season upon us. So woohoo!
Finally.
Who are you most excited to see?
Well, let me tell you this. As far as my team is always going to be the Chicago Bears, but I'm not sure about them. But the most exciting team in the league is going to be the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah.
They are now. Let me put it to you this way. Years back, we had the Miami Hurricanes.
Yes.
We had the Miami Hurricanes, and they were the epitome of cool. You get all the big stars. You had Miami Vice with it. You had all that with it.
Yes.
The Dolphins hadn't been cool in years, and now they're cool again.
Yeah, they are.
They're going to get all the celebrities on the sidelines. It's going to be, make no mistake about it. And by the way, Tua is going to get himself better. But they're going, regardless, even if he doesn't, they're going to get themselves a quarterback in the first round, and it's going to get really cool because they're going to still have the weapons.
So speaking of quarterbacks, because, my Panthers are, my lifeline. And it's like, the whole father-daughter thing, then, husband-wife thing too. So what do you know about Corral? Because I'm a little worried about some of the reports I've read about him. And
well, the thing about Corral, the one thing that worries me, see, is it a different worry that I have with Sam Howell in a way different way? You know what I'm saying? Because my whole thing with Sam Howell, in the end, it's still a minor immaturity. It's the diet, but that's not going to see. My whole worry about the diet thing, just saying it, is nagging injuries, which you can get in a long football season with professionals. There's where my thing is. But Matt Corral, my worry with him is if he still has an alcohol problem. That's a different type of immaturity altogether.
Exactly, and that's my concern. And when I was being tested for ADHD, and I don't tell this very often, but I had told the psychologist, I'm like, there's 2 classes you don't pull me out of for these testings, and that's my AP Bio or my AP History.
Right.
And first class of the day, last class of the day. Any other time, we're cool, whatever. But those are the classes I need to be focused in.
Yeah.
Dude pulls me out during AP Bio, and then the next day during AP History. Okay. So one of the times he asked me if I'd ever seen aliens. I looked at him. I came up with this whole story. I named my fake alien friend Fred. Gave him this whole long story, went into detail, but it was believable enough because I knew how to pretend like I was telling the truth. And he goes, "Are you serious?" And then I go, "No, but I seriously told you not to pull me out of AP Bio or AP History, and you did both."
Right.
It's like, are you kidding me?
No, we're gonna have a sideline sports movie about Fred, and it's gonna be played by JB.
The birthday boy, JB Ellis in the house.
Hey, it'll be played by JB. He's got the hair for it.
Right. He's gonna get you.
Yeah. Hey, he's a pretend Brooklyn guy or something. I don't know.
Right.
No, but I'll tell you this. It's like the thing about my Bears is I brought this stuff up over and over and over till the lips turned blue.
Right.
That this was going to happen. I brought it up. Don't play Fields. It was enough that he got drafted and Trubisky was gone. Now, mind you, Fields is better than Trubisky. He's better. But
yeah.
It's one thing to do that when there was really nothing wrong. I mean, there was nothing wrong that getting a new coach wouldn't have solved. I mean, they were still moving the ball with the guy. It's not like it's not like this is the flashiest player in the whole wide world. I mean, he does some flashy plays, but it's not like he's going to be the biggest winner, but you can do enough with him until you find something. There was nothing wrong with the thing. So you draft Fields, and then, okay, so guess what? You draft Fields. Okay, there it is. Don't play him a year. Don't play him near Nagy. They played 10 games. 10 games. He's 2-8. Don't think people understand the ramifications of this. 2023 is going to be loaded.
Yes.
You're going to have a brand spanking new. Either you're going to have the same ownership that's close to being sold, or you're going to have this a brand spanking new ownership that's going to want to win now. And it's going to be a loaded draft class with quarterbacks.
Oh, absolutely. I know my girlfriend Sydney. Hey, Sydney, if you're watching. I know she is she's a huge Panthers fan, like I am, but she loves Bryce Young. So, and she and I both talked about Sam Howell. Personally, I still think it was probably tongue in cheek what he was saying, but because if anybody really thinks Mac Brown and UNC is gonna let a starting quarterback just eat chicken nuggets and mac and cheese or whatever it was, I mean, people joke. Sometimes it's inappropriate. I made an inappropriate comment to my boss's boss today. So, because I was trying to be funny, but it was stupid. But that's why I think that there's more to it. I still think, and I know you and I have disagreed with this, Sam Howell's the sleeper quarterback of this NFL.
Hey, to me, I'm just saying this, I do believe, because he has said it himself over and over. I believe if he grows up with his diet and hell, go vegan like Cam.
Yeah.
Do anything just to get an adult diet, act like an adult, do all that. I will completely agree with you because he's got the arm.
Yeah, he's got the arm. He's got the motion. He's got the footwork. Yes. Because, I mean, where I live. I'm very fortunate where I live. And I've spoken with players who have played with him like in the off season and just practicing mechanics and things. And they're like, no, he's good. Like, he's legit good.
Yeah. And just bringing that up, he is legit good. But the issue that I have, 2 issues I have. Number one, it's like if he doesn't have any more immaturity other than the diet, you're going to get nagging injuries. Because on a 16-game season with all the hard work you put in, you have to have the diet proper.
You do, especially at that level. And I mean, because at the end of the day, it's just not enough calories.
Yeah.
It's not healthy. I mean, it's not healthy for anybody.
And number 2, if there's something worse, you ask yourself, is there anything else immature in his life? That's the worst case. Best case is the injuries. That's just the whole thing I'm bringing up with it, because I'm not bringing up his talent. His talent's amazing. Yeah. But bring back to about the Fields situation. There's going to be a loaded draft class, the possible new ownership or near it. And or near it at that time frame. You're going to want to win right now, and you're getting yourself into the stadium probably because you have Arlington Park. Right. You're getting everything ready. you want to know what you can get fast for someone with the talent of Fields who has a real losing record, and you can get a bunch of draft picks for that to try to build your team back. But it didn't have this mindset doesn't have to happen. Everybody, you have 50% of the pundits and Bears fans both that think he's done for and they quit on him, and the other half thinks he's the bee's knees. But you could see this coming when it was 100% of everything. You could see this coming, though, because they wanted to play him because they love their fantasy football.
Yeah.
Have patience. He starts the year 0-0 with a new system. And the new system with a rebuilding team. He could have had plenty of everything, and then he goes in with a contract. Instead, he has to play for his life, and he has to play the season of his life, which is not fair.
No, it's not fair.
It isn't fair. Go ahead.
It's just not. I mean, Fields is in a losing situation, but I think you've nailed it on the head multiple times. I know how much you love your Bears, and I know how frustrated you are with the front office and the ownership.
And the fans. I
feel your pain. I feel your pain. Why the fans?
Oh, 15 years. 15 years and over. I mean, the Bears will have a situation where they're in good shape. They'll be fine. It's like that they have, you have Kyle Orton. Not prettiest in the whole wide world, but you have a defense. You got a great running game, and Orton doesn't make a ton of mistakes. We want the pretty ball of Rex Grossman. He's so pretty. Oh, it looks so beautiful. 5 turnovers in the Super Bowl. All those things. The 4 interceptions against Arizona, and then all the other games, the up and down. Everything because it's pretty.
Right.
Oh, we want Cedric Benson. We want him. He's the number 1. Trey Thomas Jones, who was the Super Bowl. He was that. And that was the thing. Then you keep going and keep going. Oh, my God, Orton's still not pretty. Go get Jay Cutler. You know the rest there. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. And I can keep telling these stories. The front office listens to them too much.
You think the front office listens to the fans?
Way too much. Because
I wish my front office would listen to the fans a little bit more and get rid of Rule.
Oh, no, our fans are stupid. The Bears fans are absolutely stupid. And it's like when the Bears have the rare time where things are going well, they want it looking prettier so that they can have this other QB1 in fantasy. That's what they want. They want to look pretty. They want to look. In the end, it's about winning. And then it does. If the Bears are winning, then they want something prettier. And then it ends up ruining the damn team.
Mm-hmm.
And I have no problem. I've always said replace Trubisky with someone proper. Fields is proper.
Where did Trubisky end up?
Pittsburgh. But Fields is the proper replacement. But then you wanted him too early, and you discounted it. Nagy is still horrible. But they gave Nagy rope because they wanted to hate on Mitch. But the Bears fans are dumb. Not every Bears fan. Don't get me wrong, but so many Bears fans.
Did Nagy ever really hang Mitch out to dry?
Oh, tons, immediately.
And that's not fair to him.
I know, and it's like, Trubisky is in a good situation now. He's with Mike Tomlin. He has Najee Harris. It's going to be a run. It's going to be a heavy run thing. He doesn't make mistakes to begin with, and it won't be Mitch's team. It won't be his team. It'll be Najee, and it'll be Tomlin, and Mitch will be a cog in the wheel, which he needs. It won't be any pressure. But
do you think Mitch is going to be starting?
Yes. Yeah. Pickett ain't going to be ready yet. But he ain't going to be ready.
That's right. They got Pitt.
Pickett ain't going to be ready.
I'm so glad they got Pickett. I did not want Pickett.
No. Pickett ain't going to be ready.
I think he's going to be the biggest. I think he's a Will Grier.
I think
he's going to be a good coach one day, but
yeah.
Hey, I'd even take Will Grier as a head coach for the Carolina Panthers.
Trubisky will be about 3,600 yards, about 27 touchdowns. He'll make about 11, 12 interceptions, which that's still under 16, under 17 games, He'll have that, and that's what. But I'm saying that's all you had to do to begin with. He doesn't have to be a star. He's not a star. Just do a heavy run game, and it's going to work out. It's all the Bears had to do. But everything has to be pretty. Yeah. Everything has to be pretty, and it's not. They don't have the team for it. And so, You want your you want your front office to listen to your fans. The Bears fans are so emotionally such emotional nitwits. A lot of them are, not every one, but they're such emotional nitwits over and over again and then they get listened to. They get listened to too often. Mistakes get made, and then they stop winning. And guess what? Then they might lose Fields, who's probably the best quarterback the Bears have had in a generation. They might lose him if he has another bad year.
Well, I mean, if I were to leave, wouldn't you?
Here's the thing. He should be in Atlanta with Arthur Smith. I'm just saying, it's like that's his home.
But why didn't he? Well, if you want to go, you can't say that then. Personally, I think Cam's coming back to the Panthers.
No, I was talking about Arthur Smith for Fields.
Yeah, I know, but Atlanta's really good at screwing up.
Yeah, that's true too.
But I mean, and it's worse because
I'm upset overall at the fans. I'm upset at the front office. Everything. I think the Bears act like a dumpster fire and a dusty old ashtray. The owner's 100 years old. The kids are nearing 80. It's like they act like it.
Yeah,
they act like it, and it's like you still want T formation. I mean, the fight song has T formation in it. You still want them running T formation, and you still want them to be 1985. It's time to completely change your mindset and your thinking. And that's talking about everybody.
Yeah, that's true. But I kind of think I'm going to go probably where I shouldn't go. But I kind of think where point blank, this country's on the, edge of a couple of different revolutions, so to speak. And I think the NFL is one of them.
Yeah.
Because I do think that Dan Snyder was dumb enough to get caught. I think Dan Snyder will be protected because he ain't the only NFL owner who has multiple sets of bugs. Jerry Jones. McNair. And I actually think Kraft, and I do think Tepper. I think Kraft, Tepper. I won't give Tepper all the credit in the world, but I will say I don't think that they're dumb enough that they would be having two sets of books. I don't think the owner of the Bears would either. Oh, I 100% believe that about the New Orleans Saints because that bitch be crazy. Sorry.
I can see two different books for the McCaskey. I call them the McCaskets. They're old. But it's like, but no. I can believe it because football is their only way of making a wage. You're trying to keep everything to be able to keep money around there. You know what I'm saying? So I can believe the McCaskies have that.
Okay. I mean, I don't know why. They just never raise eyebrows or get anything.
They've raised eyebrows with the way that Muggs Hallis died back in the 79. They raised eyebrows that way. So it's like Shearer can tell you that story just as well as I can. So it's
Sorry, I just saw Jay's comment. He cracks me up. Thanks, Jay. I like Genesee tonight.
but let me tell you this: Miami's going to be fun. New England's going to be about the same. You know what I'm saying? New England's going to be about the same. They're going to be. It's got Mac Jones. Mac Jones is Bill Belichick's pet. He's going to have enough athleticism and enough.
Please don't get me started on Mac Jones. Huh? You really don't want to hear what I have to say because none of it's complimentary.
No, understood. I'm just talking about the football. I'm saying he is Bill Belichick's pet. He'll never get away from being his pet.
I think Mac Jones needs to go take a couple of lessons in racial equality. And I think he needs to get his ass checked by a couple of people on defensive lines. And Bills, I'm looking at y'all, my friends, because y'all used to be the Panthers. But
no,
or the New York Jets. But I mean, Bill Belichick is Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick is probably the smartest head coach in the league, right?
Yeah.
The fact that he's cheated so many times grosses me out. I have to begrudgingly give Tom Brady and you know how I feel about Tommy Boy, but I have to begrudgingly say that he is the GOAT of the off season or the postseason because he is.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't give him the GOAT for everything else because there's a lot of other quarterbacks that kind of deserve that title too. But I do think that Boston will only until their culture changes. I mean, it's a great city. I don't know if you've been there or not. I actually love Boston.
I have been.
But just as a visitor, but I've heard so many people, like players, especially NBA and some NFL players, say it's really hard to play there if you're a person of color. And
it is, and it's like it's gone all the way. I can go back. I mean, we'll talk about the whole thing with the Bird Magic thing in a second. There's no way. People had asked, what if they split sides? It's like there's no way you could. Bird could go to Here's the thing. Bird could go to LA, and this is in the 80s. He could go to LA. He just wouldn't have liked the Hollywood thing. He could have gone to LA and do that. It would. I mean, in the end, but there's no way. You got to realize, John Havlicek, Dave Cowens, Bob Cousy. They had before that. They really had one true star in Boston. It was Bill Russell. Their monster star were Bob Cousy. They were John Havlicek, the Hondo. Then it goes over and over. Dave Cowens. You have Larry Bird. It just kept going and going. I mean, then you get Bird, McHale, Parrish. Then you get that, Then McHale becomes the star when Bird goes. So it is very hard for to this day, it's very hard for a black person to make a thing there.
And Jay just said, ask Bill Russell. As you know, Bill Russell.
Hey, Jay, you're right.
Hey, you want to bring him on?
Go right about that. Sure. You can do it.
All right, hold on. I'll message him the link real quick.
No, I know about. I've read his thing about that. I'm just saying he was the one star that they were. And they were horrible. They were horrible to him, but he was the one star. Everybody else, look at the names. You get my point there, Jen.
Yeah, I get your point. Just sent. Hey Jay, I just sent you the link in Messenger.
Yeah. The hero. No, I know what Boston did, and it's like we know what the heroes were. Is my point.
Yeah,
it's like,
we do.
We know the heroes were, and it is very. I mean, Cam had his. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and that started. So Matt, I don't know if you know this or not, but Cam started out in New England before he got COVID. He came on really, 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 really late, and then like right before training started, OTA started, and minicamp. Then, so he barely had time to learn the playbook. Then he actually did really well. Then he got COVID. After he got COVID, came back. He actually admitted that he was still had foggy brain, because foggy brain is a real thing. And I'm bringing Jacob Christner. I can't read the rest. What up?
Hey. Now I know where Harden is tonight. No.
Yeah. Well, we can't be two places. We can't be two places at one time.
No. Hey,
but then,
look, hey, we have a reverse Wi-Fi signal with us. Look at you, look at me, look at her.
There we go. Yeah. Absolutely.
No, I'll tell you this, Jay. You're completely correct. All I meant was Boston and all those years. I know what that Bill couldn't afford to hightail it out of there. You're correct. I wasn't saying that part. What I was saying is they literally allowed one black star for a lot of years. I'm saying you had Bill Russell, but then guess what? Bob Cousy before that. Then you go Havlicek, you go Cowens, Bird, McHale after Bird for that year, and then and then you had a shot with it with Reggie Lewis, and then he died.
Right.
I mean, it took a long time to be able to get that, but they really have a hard time to this day getting a black star in Boston.
Actually, you skipped over one potential black star, Len Bias.
Yeah.
But look at the gap between Bill Russell and how many decades before there was another black star in Boston.
Yeah.
Or even just a black main player. Who was next after that? Parrish?
Yeah.
Would you consider Parrish a star?
He would have been. Here's the truth. He would have been if Bird wasn't.
Yes, because at the time period where the offenses were generally centered around the center, where they were the focal point of offense was Bird.
Here's the thing about Larry, though. Larry made it easier for the black players there because he did play like one.
Mm-hmm.
And he played like one. And then, so for every of the white fans that were over there, they could easily say something like, well, see, we have our magic. They could, I mean, because Bird made some of them amazing passes. He made some of the just amazing plays.
Bird played street ball.
Huh?
He played street ball
style.
Yeah.
I mean, Bird is the one guy could have gone to Rucker. He's the one white guy could go into Rucker and then play it. He could.
And yeah, absolutely. I mean, as much as because Magic Johnson to me is the greatest passer of basketball ever. The dude was Peyton Manning before Peyton Manning and in another sport. You know what I mean? You talk about a true quarterback. That was Magic. You know, however, Bird has had his share of WTF passes. Like, whoa, what's going on? You know, and everybody talks about LeBron's IQ, and it's the best, if not one of the best in history. Bird's IQ was in the clouds.
Well, let me explain this part.
Okay, hold on. Let me interrupt you.
Go ahead.
I'm going to go on my haterade for Mr. James there because his IQ goes by the wayside to me because he gives up on his team.
Oh,
so when you do that and you march off the court and you decide not to play, like I got mad at Steph for deciding not to play the Raptors and Canada and earlier this year because I was like, no, people are paying a ton of money to come watch you play.
Mm-hmm.
But and that's just my opinion. And when I see LeBron James walk off that court, because naturally he is easily the most talented basketball player to ever play the game, but he's a disappointment because he does not ever follow through. He lacks the drive. He lacks the dedication. He lacks the drive. He lacks all of the important things. I said lacks the drive twice, but that's just my humble opinion. But
the thing about it, and I'm not going to put a blame on James. He was not there. He did not get to see Bird and Magic. He's gotten to see LeBron, and to LeBron's credit, he's got a huge IQ. Mm-hmm. To that credit, but you have to be there watching. You have to go past the short shorts and the grainy footage if you want to be able to watch 7 games of the 84 series. Some of the greatest basketball you will ever see alive. Yes. And it's like, you have to be there to understand it. It's like, and like I said, you have to look past the grainy footage and look past the short shorts. You just have to. And it's like, and guess what? You didn't, most of the time, about 40% of the game, they didn't take more than 6 seconds off the shot clock.
Right.
And it's like, so they want to say, oh, this is the better game now. It's like, it's a different era. But
hey, Will.
Huh?
I was saying hi to Will.
No, but those were the things that you were bringing up. You were bringing up the thing about it being Len Bias, if it would have been Len Bias.
Well, I want to go back to why I wanted Jay to come on. So, Jay, what else do you know about Bill Russell and wanting to hightail it so quickly out of Boston? Because I really don't know that much. So, like, since you brought it up, I'd like to hear what you have to say.
Boy, he's right, too.
I mean, Bill Russell has put it out there on numerous occasions of how racist Boston could really be at that time period.
And still is.
You know, and still is. And the fact that it was almost like the fact that he won them 11 titles, like, didn't matter. And I mean, just really sit back and think about that for a second. It's like, thanks for the titles and all, but you're still black. I mean, that's pretty messed up, you know. Mm-hmm. But he retired. He couldn't wait to get out of there. And when he put out these interviews and everything in which he was speaking on it, Bostonians were like, "Oh, he's just bitter. He's just bitter." No, he's speaking about what he went through at that time period.
Yeah. What does he have to be bitter about? He won 11 championships.
He won 11 titles. He's considered among the greatest, in some people's eyes, the greatest. You know?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I'll put him above MJ.
Yeah. It's like with these athletes, you know, and it kind of reminds me of Jesse Owens. Mm-hmm. Jesse Owens won all that gold. I
love Jesse Owens.
1936 Olympics. He won all that gold, and he wasn't even invited to go to the White House when he got back. He didn't get an invite until 20 years later. And even then, he couldn't go the main route he had to go the other route. You know,
That's jacked up. I didn't know about that because
absolutely.
he also did a lot of really good things during the Olympics too, and helped one of the German runners do win a medal.
Win a medal. Yeah, absolutely. You know, and it.
I mean, just an all around good dude, and he helped out his brothers, like legitimate, like his brothers in training. He helped them out.
Right, absolutely. You know, but when you get the case of Bill Russell and Jesse Owens, and even the two during the 1976 games in Mexico City, the Black Power at the national anthem you know, it's like these athletes do so much for their city or for their country. They go out there and go above and beyond on their, you know, for whatever sport or whatever event, and they win, and they still get disrespected, you know, because of the color of their skin. And it's just the nature. I mean, I could go all night on the state of America, but
do you want to know who I feel the most sorry for right now? Black women.
Absolutely.
I'm not trying. Like, I mean, women's rights are being affronted. Black people of color, their rights are being affronted. Black woman, you boned. Like,
yeah.
I mean, and it sucks because most African American women are the pillars of our community. And on that note, this is totally personal. Miss Carolyn, may you rest in peace. You were the only sweet potato pie I ever liked. Sorry.
No, let me bring this up. Let me bring this thing up real fast. You want to know politically? Let's bring this little thing up for a second. Let's bring this up because we do this on Pundits Pundit. Let's bring the subject up a second. To me, and I'm just saying this in a completely fair way. You want to know why we have this with the abortion debates? You know why we have all this?
You want to know which companies I'm banning?
I'm just saying this in a complete truth. Is because I'm talking about this is the same with gun debates. It's the same with all different type of debates. We absolutely are incapable as a society, not government, as a society, of having common sense, complete common sense. Because, and I'm just saying it, and I'm agreeing with you, Jen. So I'm just saying this. I'm agreeing with what you're saying. It's like, and personally to me, if I was in politics, there's no way in heck I would speak about women's issues. I'm not a woman. I'm not going to try.
Shut up. And not you, but politicians, shut up. People, get out and vote. Vote out the old people. Bring in people that are more our age and more in tune with what we want and need. And here's the thing. Like, I read an article earlier today, and I'll say it here, Jacob.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Let me find this article.
Hey, Jay, I was just going to say this real fast while she finds that. The reason is like, you get these kind of things. Abortion happens because you'll get somebody. I mean, it'll be even just one person. As a teacher said that I had 21 abortions, and it's like they will show that to the end of time.
And here's the thing: the percentage-wise, the Republicans are being really stupid because you know who they're hurting? They're rural women who will vote for you. So you're hurting your own party.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the statistics, percentage-wise, more Caucasian women will have an abortion over any other culture.
But this is what
these are the three companies that BusinessInsider.com came out. Yeah, I know. I'm looking at it. Sorry, my husband was just telling me who it was again too. We're banning them. AT&T, Walmart, and Citi.
Right.
AT&T, the only thing I can get is they want to increase their family plans and make more money off cell phone coverages.
Right.
Walmart, I mean, I don't need to say anything else, but I'm done shopping there, even though they have the best bologna in the world.
I've never shopped there to begin with.
And then Citi, I've never liked Citi anyway. So let's go Wells Fargo. If you need a VA mortgage, come hit us up. But
to bring that thing though, what I was saying, do you understand what I mean though, Jay and Jen? You understand what I'm saying on this? It can be that one person that has I had 21 abortions type deal. That's all they, even though it's such a minuscule number, they will use that to the end of time. And it is to me, and there's another thing, we'll say the gun rights. Okay, we want guns for protection, but then you get morons who go to Sonic with an AR-15. It's strapped to their back. Yeah. Why? And it's like,
here's the thing, these were
incapable. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm saying this okay. We're incapable of common sense at all as a people. So if we are incapable of common sense, how are we to expect our government to have it?
True.
Here's the thing. Abortion wasn't even a topic on the political spectrum really until 1982.
82.
When? 80. Okay.
It was 80.
It was 80. My husband's like huge into politics, so that's why I like defer to him on that.
Tell him to run
And
for
it was when
office.
the Catholic Church really started putting their 2 cents into American politics.
Mm-hmm.
No, hold on. Okay, come here.
It was the Baptist.
Oh, it was the Baptist.
Jerry Falwell and the Republicans made the religious right, and all stemmed from there.
Okay.
No one ever cared about it.
So in
Is
1980,
he gonna run for office? Is he gonna run for office?
He should. He won't.
Don't put that on him.
But I get sick.
Don't do it, brother. Stay home.
Jay's on your side. He's like, don't do it. Stay home.
He's gonna be thinking tonight in bed.
What he said, and like this is his baby. He loves political research. He loves all of this. But he just told me that it was 1980 when Jerry Falwell and the Baptists really got heavy into U.S. politics, and they made the religious right.
Yeah.
And that's when it really started coming to fruition. That's when gun rights started coming up too, because then the Democrats needed something to counter argue abortion rights with. So yeah, like it's all, and I've got a strong faith in God, but I'm sick of these pompous, pious people who aren't really pious trying to make the rules. And I'm really sick of these dang old men trying to tell me what the hell I can do with my body. I can tell you what you can do with my body. Kiss it.
I can say this to be fair, Jen. I can say this to be fair. The old men put Roe v. Wade out there, and it's a few women that are taking it out. It's kind of a irony of it.
Oh, you're forgetting a few men on there, including the one that wrote it.
Hey, you know, that bit that Jacob brought up about the government not having any common sense. So we all know how the mishandling of the COVID pandemic went. What if I told you that happened another time in history? As far as a disease. So the AIDS virus started killing people right around 1981, 1982.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It was, and at first, does this sound familiar? At first, it wasn't taken serious. It was called a hoax and so forth. It didn't even get mentioned until 1985 after 6,000 died from AIDS. 6,000 people. And even then, they didn't call it a health crisis. They called it a moral crisis.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, by the way, it got really serious with Freddie
on...
Mercury. It got really serious with Freddie Mercury and Rock Hudson.
No, Ryan White.
Ryan White. It was not until
it was a white boy
who
was a teenager getting a blood transfusion.
A blood transfusion. It was
That's
not until a white kid got affected through a blood transfusion that they mentioned to say something.
Yep. And you know who was on the White House medical staff at that point too?
Dr. Fauci.
Yes.
Dr. Fauci.
And so like even I knew like some of the rumors, I'm sure they're so abrasive and crass. I won't even repeat them from when like I was younger, what was going around about what started the AIDS crisis. But I was in Charlotte, they had a group and I was part of the group who was like a peer mediator type thing who was HIV AIDS educated to dismiss all of the spells and the rumors and things because it was so out there. Like I remember being in school, people would be like afraid, like to, when you would like do the blood, like with your brother, your best friend to make you blood brother and sister.
Yeah.
Yeah. And people were afraid to do that for a while because they're like, what if you have AIDS? Well, first of all, you're in 5th grade and hopefully you're not sharing needles and hopefully you're not getting sex. So, but yeah,
what about you, Jay? Mr. Stud back in the day.
Jay was raised right. His mama would have whooped his hiney.
He definitely would have skinned me.
But no, the thing, let me say this. I'm saying this part right now. My politics are pretty right of center, but I don't think I have any friends because I bring this out. Like, for instance, like I said, if I was to, once I have myself a wife one day, women talk about the women's rights. In my thing, if I would ever be in politics, I'm not touching the subject with a 10-foot pole. I'm not a woman. I don't know what it's like. Never been in there, and I am not like on a CK where I'm a pregnant man, like on Calvin Klein. I am none of that. It's like I don't know what it's like to be a woman, and I'm not going to talk about it.
Well,
End
and
of story.
then people are forgetting this is also going to affect Title IX.
Mhm.
This is also going to affect women in sports.
There's
Well,
also
This
Title
is
IX
laws
is
in
and
place.
STEM.
Title IX
And-
getting affected by men getting into women's sports and saying there's a women. That's going to get affected on it.
Well, that's a whole other topic, and I personally feel that there needs to be a third area of sports,
Yes.
just to make things even Steven. But I don't want to go down that road tonight because we only have 15 minutes. And we can talk
20,
a lot.
but yeah, 20, but yeah.
They
Stay on though, Jay. Stay on.
yeah,
Mhm.
Jay, you can't leave us. But they but it's going to affect everything. And that's what they don't get. Because I don't know if anybody's ever done the math or really looked at it, but Title IX and Roe v. Wade passed the same year.
Yeah.
Now, Title IX was an offshoot of the Equal Rights Act that underneath the education department, theoretically. And so, yeah, no, like they're trying to blow a lot of stuff up right now. And it's ironic because a couple of weeks before this came out, Roe v. Wade, NCAA was saying how they were trying to take money from women's sports to put it back into men's. Now, I get that. To me, I feel like some money needs to be more evenly dispersed, but that needs to come from the boosters. But like, if you're selling out, if you're Carolina, if you're Duke, and you're selling out basketball games, by all means, the ticket revenue should go to them. But some of the other money available needs to go to some of the women's sports. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
Okay, I don't know if I was being clear.
Well, here's the thing too. The biggest thing we see about it is the fact that I said, and you heard me say this, Jen. If that would go, you heard me say it quite a few times. Go promote the hell out of women's sports, and if they make the money, keep promoting. If they don't, then, and you've heard me say this quite a few times. Guess what? They're making the money.
Yeah.
They are. And it's like they're making
They
money.
are.
Look at the numbers at the NCAA tournament. Look at the ratings. Look at it. They are making it. There's 91,000 people that watched a women's soccer game. They're making it, so you earn. This is all I think I've ever said. I've said this about men. I've said it about women. I've said it about everything. Okay, there was a thing about Naomi. You've heard this about Naomi Osaka, Jay. Have you heard about this? Naomi Osaka, she's starting her own. She's being like LeBron. She's starting her own agency. This is what I say. Go ahead, because you're with CAA. You think you can do better? Good. Go right ahead. Go make your money. And if you fail, then that was your chance that you took.
Right.
That was your chance that you took. But
and if you fail, then it's just a blueprint for you to start over and do it again.
Right.
And learn from your mistakes. I mean, that's how we all got to where we are in life. Like, you had a hiccup and you keep going forward. And that's just who it is, how it is. It is what it is.
But you gotta take that leap, if you want to be great. I like, as far as and we've talked about this on with women's sports. They're making the numbers. I don't know if y'all seen me comment on the Sip Off and on other shows, but this past women's national championship game in basketball was the most watched out of men's or women's since 2008.
Really?
Most watched, yes.
Yeah. And see, you want to know what used to be watched? It was Tennessee, Connecticut. That was it. But now, variety.
And I wonder if we owe it a thank you to, and I'm so sorry, I forgot the young lady's name, but the basketball player from Oregon who went live on TikTok last year at the NCAA's championship, women's championship, showing that they only got a hot dog to eat for breakfast. And because that was like, you wouldn't going back to our earlier conversation, Jacob, you wouldn't knock Sam Howell for only eating chicken nuggets and mac and cheese. At least he's getting carbs. They're giving women in a championship playoff run hot dogs for breakfast. One hot dog.
Very well aware of it all, and I brought that up too. Remember, I go on Facebook. I report every little detail.
Yes,
remember that I do that, and it's like every little thing. I mean, hell, you see me putting martial arts stuff on there with 6-year-olds. I report every day. It's like I did that. So yeah, that was not fair. That was not fair. It's like, no, it's not fair to.
And
see
how
that
long
kind
have
of
they
crap.
been doing this to them?
Oh, decades.
And you know what? And you know what? It's stuff like this. Exactly what I've said for the last decade, that them student athletes need to get paid. They need to get paid. And whenever I have a discussion with people like this and they're against the players getting paid, the number one rebuttal they have is, oh, but they're getting a free education. Okay, question for you. Let me ask you a question. How much is the average 4-year education in the United States?
$135,000.
$135,000. Okay, so if you, Jacob Christner, playing ball in college, and you're the star, and you just took your team to the Final Four 3 years in a row, let's just put that out there.
Billions of dollars.
They make millions of dollars. So for $135,000, is that a fair exchange?
Not even close.
No.
Not even close. And
that's actually a really good point, Jay. Thank you.
Yeah, and no, this is there's only one thing I want to bring to the world here. It's like, give everybody their shot. There is more than enough money in this world. There's more than enough everything in this world. Quit the idea of taking from somebody else, regardless of where it is, and because there's more than enough money and more than enough opportunity.
Yes.
Quit trying to take. We got to get this revenge. We got to go. Quit trying to do that. Everybody has a chance. There's more than enough.
I mean, it's more than enough money in the world. It's more than enough money in the United States. How many Americans on Forbes are in the top 20 richest in the world?
Oh, I don't know. You may look it up.
Shoot, I know. I just want to say there's 3 in the top 10.
They will.
So, I mean, shoot, in the world, I mean, in the United States alone, you know?
Yeah. No, but that's the thing. What I get mad at is there's this whole thought process. We got to take from somebody. Doesn't matter who. We got to take to go give somebody to them. There's more than enough for everybody. More than enough for every single person. This is where.
So here's my thing. Like, I think if you're fortunate enough to be born into money, you still should work for it and know the value of a dollar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I admire the people who have done nothing, like came from nothing, like your David Teppers, like your Bezos, and they made themselves billionaires in a lifetime. I admire that fortitude. I respect it. But I was gonna look up top 20. Okay.
But even and I don't know how, regardless of how people feel about the man, but even President Biden himself said, I'm not anti-capitalist. I believe in capitalism, but I believe the wealthy should pay their fair share.
Absolutely. But they're not going to, because you know who's been paying for Biden? Let's just, who paid for Trump? Paid for Obama?
Being truthful, there's a lot, even if they're not what you call fair share, there's a lot of wealthy people paying a lot of taxes. A lot of them. It's like we hear here's the thing, Jay. We hear the loud media that talk about the ones that don't pay a lot. Right. You know what I'm saying? But there are a ton of millionaires and a ton of that pay lots and lots of taxes. They're paying the fair share. They pay the majority of it. It's like, see, the biggest thing is once they can't get the money away from the millionaires and the billionaires, then it goes to the middle class.
You know what's interesting? I'm looking on here.
Mm-hmm.
You know who's not top 20 anymore?
Who?
Never mind. He's in there. Didn't see him. I was going to say Buffett. I didn't see Buffett's name. I scrolled like 10 times. There's like 5 people on the top 20 billionaires in the world that are not United States.
That are from the United States?
That are not. So 15 out of 20.
So 15 out of 20. The richest in the world is from the U.S.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And they left off the richest one. He's definitely not from the U.S.
No. And you know what? That's crazy because
that's Putin.
I want to say about 10 years ago, it was hardly any Americans in that top 20. The richest folks was in the Middle East.
Yep. That's true.
Now it's like, 15 out of the 20 is from the United States.
It's just my point. But with I mean, the thing is, it is my point. I keep saying, quit trying to take away from people to get that. There is more than enough for everyone, and there are situations now that there are going to be a new wealth of a thing of riches. We're going to have to take away. There's people that want to take away from the men's game.
Here's the thing. No. This is what I want to take away. I want to take away the racism. I want to take away the sexism. Good. I want to take away the misogyny, because whatever's a third of an inch thick, it doesn't matter. It doesn't freaking matter. It's a third of an inch thick. I like Jay because Jay's a freaking cool dude. I like you because you're a cool dude, and I can yell at when you're being a numbskull. And y'all can yell at me
often,
too.
But not too often, though.
At the end of the day, we've got to see how all this is going to impact sports, and not just women's sports. Hey! Sorry, guys.
The ratings are the dogs.
Yes. Like they just got into a little dog fight.
The dogs are the ratings of the show. Everyone hear them bark.
I think this is my last week dog sitting. I'm pretty sure it is. But that's what we have to focus on, and we have to focus on bringing that equality back. Like I feel like Trump took what a schism was on racial divide, that because I feel like we kind of come together, especially under 9/11. I feel like it started, coming apart again after during Obama's presidency, and then I feel like it got even bigger during Trump, because Trump made so many comments that were uncouth, uncalled for, and downright racist, and he really needed to get Stephen Miller out of his White House.
Well, and I'll tell you this, that my thing by itself is like, and I truly don't believe it was helped by Bush. I don't think it was helped by Obama. It really wasn't helped by Trump, and it's not helped here. There's nothing going on. It's just, there just continues to be a schism. And the only thing,
my thing is, like, when I was in high school, it wasn't like that. We were taught to respect everyone. We were taught to respect everyone. And we were like, and honestly, in my high school, it was legit like the jocks versus everybody else kind of. It wasn't like, the Hispanic group over here, the Mexican group over here. My eyes were very wide opened up when I moved to New Mexico, because I saw more racism in 6.5 years of living in New Mexico than I ever did in Charlotte.
That's crazy.
And so, yeah.
Do you remember? I'm sorry about this. I'm sorry. Everybody remember Punky Brewster?
Yeah.
Yeah. I watched the reboot, baby.
Oh, yeah. I still need to watch that. But someone made a really good point. Someone made a really good point about it once. I remember her little group was a absolute diversity. But there was a couple of different times you saw a little Chinese kid. You saw a couple boys, couple girls. You have a black girl and white girl being best friends. They had the real diversity. No one gave a rip. This is 1984. We've hit that schism so bad in this time frame to where we're talking about it all the time. No one cared then. I mean, this really wasn't. It's really gotten worse.
Well, and think of different strokes too. Like it was a much better diverse. I feel like Golden Spoon, Silver Spoons was like the only, not really. And I'm trying to think back, because even Benson was like all encompassing, and it was just done without a pressure being on there. It was like, oh, okay, he's a good actor. Let's toss him in. They're a good actor, and Different Strokes was a different story, because the whole premise was, a rich white family adopted a poor black kid. So,
yeah.
But that, that worked out. And I know watching it as a kid, it never was a big thing. And that's how I grew up. So like me, I've never understood, like I know on paper why racism exists, but I've never understood why it exists.
Yeah,
because they don't understand how people are that stupid or that power hungry.
Yeah,
never understood.
Some of these shows that we, came up on, they had, what was the tough episodes. These were episodes that usually dealt with like racism or like teen pregnancy or like AIDS awareness or abuse or something like that. And I don't know if you all recall. I don't know if you all recall a Family Matters episode where Eddie Winslow got pulled over and harassed.
Yeah, well.
Oh yeah, I do remember that.
Home and told his dad. His dad didn't believe him, and then the dad ended up finding the racist white cop and telling him off. And it was like literally he was like, we were just minding our own business, and he's pulled us over and harassed us. Then there was the episode of Fresh Prince where the same thing happened, and Carlton was oblivious, and Will was like,
we already know. Will's like, I already know. He did spread eagle against the thing. He already knew what was going on there.
But the crazy part about that episode was Carlton did not get it, like even through the last scene of the episode. And Will was trying to tell him, it doesn't matter who your dad is, it doesn't matter what kind of car you were driving, because they only see one thing.
Right, because they were driving the white Mercedes, right?
Yeah, and the cops they stole it.
Well, that
because
was
they were in Palm Springs. They were driving a car to his
point.
dad in Palm Springs.
Well, that was the point of the whole thing. Is Dad bailed him out?
Yeah,
Dad
and then went off on him.
Dad's a high-powered lawyer, and that was what Will was trying to say. Your dad's a high-powered lawyer. He ain't always going to be there.
He ain't always going to be there.
Yeah.
I mean, look at how bad it is nowadays.
Poor Will didn't realize Jada was going to arrest him too and keep him locked up for all these years.
Yeah, Will been arrested since 1996, but that's a different story. But yeah, like you, and Will's right. It's like, okay, yeah, your dad bailed you out this time, but what about the next time? You see how bad it is nowadays. You know what I mean? If you're shot on the side of the road unjustly, that's nothing your dad can do.
I was legit walking home from the town hall today, and I called one of my coworkers because she texted me something sweet, and I was talking to her. She happens to be Black, and I was like, "What are you doing?" And she told me, she goes, "Yeah, but I keep seeing all these cop cars." She's like, "Wait, I think it's the same cop car." She goes, "I want to go be nosy." So she started walking down. She goes, "Never mind. They're gonna arrest a brown person." And I started laughing. I was like, "I'm not trying to laugh, but it's kind of funny because it's sad and true." And she goes, "I know. That's why I said it. But it's sad and true." And she was, I mean, nothing happened to her, obviously, but yeah.
Let me tell you this, guys. We are at 3 minutes left. Let's thank. By the way, Jay, thank you. You have been our first guest impromptu, but it was.
Thanks, Jay.
This has been awesome. And by the way, Jen, let us know where you're at every week.
Sure. Hold on. Let me pull up my little list because I kept the list now. Okay, so on Monday nights, the NBA Carousel with you two, hosted by Miss Megan Price, the Queen of Hoops, the hostess with the mostest. On Tuesday nights at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 6:30 p.m. Central, we have Three Chicks in a Pod, and that's myself, Megan Price. I was about to say Megan Hoops. Hey, Megan, I gave you a new nickname. And
Megan's not Megan.
I'll let her know on the sip off. And then and myself, of course, and Carrie Johnson, the Chiefs chick. And then we have Confidential along with both of you again. I'm loving this. And at 11 p.m. on Tuesday nights, and it's the best late night talk show, Cubs only. And Pundits Pundit tonight during the season, the NFL Carousel. And on Sundays, I'm fortunate enough to produce the Basketballs with you guys as well. Y'all are really in my lives. We're gonna have to exchange birthday and Christmas presents, aren't we?
Definitely.
Well, we're all gonna have to meet at the future wedding of JB.
I know, right?
All right. What I'm at Sunday nights, Basket Bros, with you, Jen, and then you, Jay, and then there's Will Vogel, and Dom DeRubis in between beers. You
need to quit saying that. He's gonna beer you one day.
Of course he's going to beer me because he'll be passed out by that point. Monday nights.
Dom, I'm trying to defend you. I know you're not watching, but I'm trying to defend you.
Yeah, but Monday nights is the Megan Price's Carousel. I'll pick another team next year. Thank God. I'm definitely not going to be doing the Sacramento this time, especially with Mike Brown. Then it's Tuesday nights on Confidential with everybody, because I think we have about 98% of
It's us, JB.
I think we have 98% of
Steve
Sideline
and
on
Jordan.
Confidential.
You're right. I kept trying to put Colin on Confidential. He was like, "What are you talking about?" And I'm like, "Never mind."
Let's see. Thursday nights, Pundits Pundit, right in between this whole thing where James Harden's blowing another game. He lost the ball again. And then Sunday nights again, keep going around. And I'm also in a movie called My House, which is wrapping up production really soon. I'm actually in a horror flick, believe it or not.
Nice.
Oh, you were my nightmares last night. That makes sense.
Yeah. Well, I shaved my head like his. Where are you at, Jay?
NBA carousel on Mondays. My team's out of it, and I was asked to cover the Raptors. They're well out of it, so I'll be on next year. Also, Basket Bros on Sundays with Dom DeRubis, Jacob Christner, and Will Vogel. Saturdays, The Gauntlet, myself, James Tatum, JJ Jenkins, and Dom DeRubis. And also, I produce Confidential on Tuesday nights. That's with JB Ellis, Jenn the Professional. I'm going by what it's saying right there. Steve Schwanda, Jacob Christner, and Jordan Long. And I'm thinking about starting a petition to get me onto a Sonic commercial where I'm sitting in the car holding a cheeseburger, and I'm saying, I don't know why y'all eat this bland ass food anyway.
Well, you need to have some Mike and Ike's in your hand too.
No.
Absolutely.
Hey, while you're at it, have an AR-15. Make it more realistic.
Oh God! You know what? Don't make me start playing. No, I can bring some 90s music into this next week. I'm doing it, Jay.
All right.
He's getting
it. It's been awesome.
It has been. And remember, we're sponsored by Score No Score. Yep. And Score No Score, Jacob will put his foot in his mouth next week. Let's take our bets now. You can get the dough. Google
if you vote no, you're a moron.
That's why Jay and I are winning. I'm wearing pearls for my winnings on this.
Happy horror film, Jacob.
Yeah. Have a wonderful night, guys.
Bye. Okay.